Hey y'all, welcome back to Bill Money. This is Mike. So today I want to talk about the best passive income ideas for 2023, right? So, excuse me, a lot of what we've been hearing about lately about passive income, uh, there's obviously is a lot to do with crypto or NFTs or all kinds of stuff, right? And I'm going to be honest with you, these are some things that I just don't touch, right? So if that's what you're here for, I'll see you later because that's just not what I do, right? And I don't want to tell you something that I don't mess with, right? So if you're still here, great. So I'm going to teach you exactly what I would do, or that I what I am doing uh, for this year, right? For passive income ideas. Now, before I get into it, there's only a couple that I really mess with, right? Um, so I would say number one is going to be stocks, dividend producing stocks. Now I know that's probably like, what? Because of all the news that's going on about recessions and what have you, what have you. I never am not investing in stocks, and there's a reason for that. If you are always investing in stocks, ups and downs don't matter, right? The price isn't what matters to me. So what does is the dividend, right? Uh, I buy stocks that are essentially kind of household names uh, that produce a dividend, and you can do that through ETFs. You just have to know what you're looking for, make sure that the expense ratio isn't high, and that your 30-day yield is going to be decent. I would also say it's worth taking a look at the companies in the ETF if you know how to break down their financials. If you don't, that's coming soon, so don't worry about it. I'm going to give you that. But if you do, I would say always look for their income. One of the really, really easy ways to do that I've found is by going to Morningstar, and you can just look at their financials. I always look at their cash flow, right? I look for free cash flow. I look for growth in their income over a period of time, or if there's no growth, I just don't want to see where there's consistently falling, right? If they're doing like this, then that, and they're kind of like right there at like kind of stable, then I'm fine with that too. The main thing that's important to me is the passive income. This has nothing to do with retirement funds or anything like that. It's passive income and a way to store my cash, right? Number two, I like websites, right? I like to buy income producing websites. I don't do e-commerce websites when I buy a website. I've done e-commerce websites before for other people who already have audiences, but that was through basically consulting with people's businesses and stuff like that, and how if they wanted to start or grow a business. Um, but the most important part of what I'm talking about when it comes to a passive income idea, you want to look for content sites, right? Content sites are very easy to create a passive income for. Passive meaning I do almost nothing because I can hire a writer from like Flippa or Upwork, something like, or not Flippa. I can hire a writer after I buy from Flippa or something like that. I can hire them from Upwork. I can hire them from Fiverr. I can hire from a bunch of different places. And then you can also um, well, it depends on your approach. I don't like to build backlinks, so I don't. I just leave them and I let them kind of do their own thing. And if people like it, people like it. And if they don't, then I just don't, right? Because I want to make this as passive as possible. But if your goal is to grow your site, because it is a real business, and there are people who buy sites that they may get them for a couple $100 and then they turn it into a couple $1,000, or a couple $1,000 and they turn it into like a couple 100,000 or $1 million. So however seriously you take these websites is what you get out of it. So I would say if you do it, try to understand it. I love Udemy courses. I've spent a ton of money on courses throughout my entire life of just trying to understand and make sure I'm staying knowledgeable and up to date with what's going on with marketing and business. Most of the time, I'll say this: I've spent thousands and thousands of course dollars on courses and coaching, and you can really learn most of it from Udemy. So I would say check out Udemy if you're trying to learn how to grow a website business, especially through SEO or advertising or something like that. Um, So that's the second one. The third one, I would say, and this is something that I'm really just finding out about, and this is something I haven't done yet, but I plan on doing in the near future, is buying royalties, like from music, right? So I just recently found this exchange called Realty Exchange, right? Realty Exchange basically lets you buy the rights to people's music. So if you hear music online or if you're on Spotify, something like that, you can actually buy the rights to it and get paid every time that the music plays, right? So that's a really, really passive thing to do because the music's already made, it's already out, people are already using it, it's already making money. So you're really just buying a passive income stream. Um, Number four, right? And this is something I have done again, real estate investing. Now, real estate investing has to be set up a certain way if you're going to make it passive. So if you're not trying to be a landlord, which most of us are not, especially if we're after passive income, you have to have a property manager, right? You have to have a way for you to not be the person who receives the call and then goes and fixes the thing, right? Because that's what it would mean to be a landlord. So property managers are always good to have. Um, that's going to make it more passive, right? It's not 100% passive. And if I'm honest with you, um, that's okay because it's also got the most benefits tax wise. I'm not going to go into taxes. Talk to an accountant if you want to know that. There's plenty of channels out there to talk about how real estate benefits you tax wise. And then I would say the last one, and this is probably the least mentioned, and the one that I've found the most. Again, this is one I haven't done yet. This is one I'm in the works of actually learning more about, so I can get started with. Is land investing to buy or sell crops, or if you have like a little room in your house or your apartment that you don't use, growing food indoors to sell. All right. So if you can grow plants, plants are the most passive thing you can do. There's actually, from what I've been finding, ways that you can buy land and lease it out to companies so that they can, basically do what they do with the land. So, for example, I found one that is a few hundred miles away from where I live now, but it's a big plot of land with a house on it. They rent their land to two different companies. One company is a major chicken producer called Tyson. And then I forgot what the other one is because this was like a week ago that I found this one. But ultimately, the reason why I haven't pulled the trigger on the ones that I told you I haven't done yet, I have to learn about it. I'm not the type of person who just gets into something to see what happens, right? Because this is an investment. I'm also a grown man. I got kids to feed. And me making a mistake now is different from me making a mistake at like 19 or 20. So if you're young, if you're like 19, 20, maybe 25, 30, and you don't got as much at risk, I would say definitely learn about it, try it out, see what you think. In terms of what I already have in the works, I would say dividend stocks, websites, and real estate. Anything past that, do your research. I'm going to be talking a lot more about this as I grow and learn more. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like this video if it was helpful. I'm also going to be, because we talked about this, kind of sharing some of these platforms with you. So if you are interested, I'm going to link some of these down in the description so that you can, basically just click those and go to the website to do your research. So yeah, let me know what you guys decide to do. If you're going to look into any of these, just write it down in the comments. I'd love to start a conversation with you, get to know you guys. Anyway, this is Mike. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.